All right, this is London session. I'm currently marking it out in the 1 minute, but the 5 minute seems very clean. But you can see there's resistance up there, and I'm also looking for another like resistance that's turning to support based on the way price is moving. And then the 5 minute was more cleaner, so that's why I was marking it on there. And now I'm thinking of like where I'm gonna want to be taking my trades on after adjusting the resistance. And I can see that if I really wanted to take a buy, I want to be taking it like when it breaks that resistance. So that's what I've been waiting for. But one thing I kind of should have accounted for now that seeing hindsight is I think my SL was very tight with the entry as well. My entry, you're gonna see, it wasn't the best. Like it could have been a bit more earlier. It seemed like it was way more late. So you can see that price came and pumped up there. And my entry would have been where I drew on TradingView, right? But to be honest, like when I was on MetaTrader 5, it looked totally like different. It's just the fact that the delay, it was a bit annoying. But you're gonna see how it is, yeah. So you can see on the right MT5, my entry was right there. My stops seemed very tight for the entry. And now I'm just adjusting, putting my stop losses and take profit and doing all of that. And then you're gonna see, and then I'm gonna probably adjust the entry and stop loss and take profit on TradingView too, so you can see where I exactly entered, because it's not that clear on TradingView. Alright, now I'm just adjusting on TradingView, my long position. Yeah, you can see how tight it looked on MT5 as well. My entry and my stop loss. So it wasn't the best. I'm not gonna lie with you. And you're gonna see what happens next. I thought it would like potentially, reject from there as well. Because now look, resistance turned into support. So price broke and just wanted to retest. That's what I thought. But you're gonna see what's gonna happen. It was quite quick. And it looked like I was right, but then it just ended up, it just ended up plummeting and plummeting. And it just hit myself, as you can see. And now I'm down to like £15 now. But yeah, that's what happened with the first trade. It was valid. It's just my entry was all the way there. But either way, even if my entry was where I wanted it to be, it would have came down and hit a sell. So that's that, right? That's that. And so now I'm looking at the 1 minute to see where I would like what's my next, place to take a trade. And you can see the white lines are drew, and it's basically that. If it breaks there, I'll be entering a buy. If it breaks there, I'll be entering a sell. But I'm most likely not going to be a buy because I already taken a buy. So I took a sell, right? And it closed with very nice like volume as well. So I was like, cool. Took a sell. This time it was a 3-point stop loss, a bit more like space. And yeah, this one was pretty good actually. This one was a pretty good trade, but this one's going to be one of the reasons why I'm going to kind of change my plan on adapting to these markets. Because normally, yeah, I do go for 1 to 2s, right? And on London session and on New York, right? But this time on London session, I think I'm going to try go for this like new plan where I'm just going to be targeting like low RR. Because it's keep on getting to 1-to-1s, right? 1 to 1.5s. Mostly around 1-to-1s, and it's keep on reversing, and that's what I'm seeing like all the time. So I've been thinking, because I am doing a flip challenge, right? A flip account. For me, trying to go in like heavy and just getting out on a 1-to-1 can be more profitable than me trying to wait for a 1 to 2 based on the way markets are moving. And this is like one thing. So you just got to adapt to how the markets are. So because I'm a scalper, you want to be in and out, right? So that's what I've been thinking. I've been thinking to like risk heavier and getting out quicker at like a 1-to-1. And even with this trade, you're gonna see like it easily hit 1-to-1. You can see it easily hit 1-to-1. But it's always when it's close to my TP that it starts to fumble. And you can see now I'm at break even, that's perfect. But in that area, I would have probably wanted to like get out if I risked more heavier. But I can't with my broker future markets. I do have like a 1-to-500 like leverage. However, I can't really risk that much more heavier than I thought. But I might be definitely lowering my RR so I can get a higher win rate based on the way the markets are moving. I'm just adapting to the markets. There's another thing I could also do, which is trade Tokyo session. But I'm not really a big fan of Tokyo session. I mean, I've never really traded it. I don't really know if I want to go to it right now. Yeah, this is basically the trade update. 1 loss and 1 break even. And like you said, I'm marking a 1-to-1. This would easily hit. If I just risk heavier, go for the 1-to-1, just get out. Just quick and easy. And yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I didn't get to trade yesterday as well because yesterday I had an exam, so I was pretty much studying for the exam. So I didn't trade London session or New York, and that is why you don't see me posting a video. So sorry about that. And yeah, next clip will definitely cut the New York session. All right, this is New York session. I'm gonna be trading NQ on the left and Y on the right on my new 25k account. I'm gonna quickly mark out the charts. You can see that resistance. You can see this nice trend line on YM, sorry, on NQ, and then you can also see that resistance that turned into support. I'm looking at this, but I think I would have to go for higher than that though, for sure. It has to be like a 30 point. So the range, it has to be on 30 point. I would like to go for buys. Yeah, definitely would like to go for buys. Let me quickly mark out YM. For YM, I would like to go for sells. It's not the cleanest, I'm not gonna lie with you. But if I do see a trade, then I would want to go for sells. You can see the resistance, the support here. I would most likely want price to break all of this, go lower. And yeah, 40 point stop loss seems good. Definitely seems good. I would really love for price to melt, but it is very close to entry though. Don't know if I would want it now. Because there's a lot of gap to fill. There's a lot to fill. So if price does go for shorts, I really don't mind it. But it is a bit choppy and consolidating, I'm not gonna lie. With YM, for NQ, it'd be around 4 contracts with 30 point, and for YM it would be 13 contracts with a 40 point stop loss. This seems way too close to entry though. So really not sure how I'd want to take this. I'm going for sells on NQ for sure. Cool, it is reacting from the support already, which isn't a good sign. I needed to break through it. Okay, definitely break through it now. Cool, I broke through that support. Looking for price to obviously head down lower. but let's see. Definitely think I'm gonna break even though. Definitely think I'm gonna break even. I would normally chill this for 1 to 3, but because of the consistency score, I would need to, like, even if I do go to the perfect target, so let's say I made 750 and then 500 the next day, then the day after, like, technically I obviously passed, but because of the consistency, I would have to make another 500 or yeah, also to, you know, go based on the consistency. And that's why I'm just gonna aim for just a 1 to 2 until I get to the final stage. I mean, I'm still gonna probably do with the 1 to 2, but yeah, cool. That's it, TP, and that's it. We're done for the day. I mean, this is very clean on NQ. This is what I was anticipating. Either way, this is literally what I was anticipating. It's a clean 1 to 2. It could possibly go lower, but that doesn't matter. And with YM, wow, that was a clean fake. I mean, to be fair, it broke pre-session, so it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, finally win with New York session, and yeah, not much to say. It's a short session, 2 RR up finally, and yeah, we'll come back tomorrow and we'll see how it goes. Hopefully a dub, and if not, next week. Normally I don't trade on Fridays, but I'm gonna trade tomorrow because of the fact that I'm gonna challenge and I'm not enough funded account. But yeah, see you next week. Thanks for watching.